What if the very beliefs that you think are protecting you are actually holding you back? Welcome back to another transformative series where we will delve into how our childhood impacts our present and future selves. My name is Linda and I'm here to sprinkle a little bit of magic onto your lives. Marisa Peer, creator of RTT and renowned therapist, echoes Maslow's assertion that every single child has three basic needs: to feel loved, to feel significant, and to feel safe, mentally, emotionally, and physically. When children have these needs unmet, they need to understand why, so that they can function. Even if this why is negative, it gives them some sort of certainty. If a father doesn't pay attention to his child, the child wants to understand why. If a mother is abusive to her child, the child needs to understand why. If there's not enough food at the table, the child wants to understand why. Now, kids have a very limited perspective and not enough experience to understand that when their needs are not met, is because their parents are not doing what they need to be doing. They're not doing enough, or they're not putting in their best effort. Maybe the parents didn't have these needs met themselves and they don't know how to be a good parent. Whatever it is, the child needs to understand why and usually has to look within themselves. If only I was prettier, if only I was better behaved, if only I had better grades, then my parents would love me, then my parents would pay attention to me, then my parents wouldn't yell at me so much. This perspective, as wrong as it is the best option for the child because it is the easiest one to understand and also it is the safest. Our subconscious mind's job is to protect us, is to make us feel safe and to take us away from pain. So if a child, for example, a 3-year-old would have an alcoholic father and a depressed mother, and she could understand that her needs are going unmet because her parents have these problems and they need to work out the problems to be better parents, then that would be more of a threat to the child because she cannot control the parents, and then she'd know that she still has maybe 15 more years to be with them under her care, and they're not the best parents. So that would be more of a risk and more of a threat. This child could feel trapped and powerless to do anything about it. Whereas if she blames herself, then she has something she can control. She has something she can work on. So the subconscious mind is doing its job by creating certain beliefs in the child's minds that will allow the child to cope with the situation. In the moment, the limiting beliefs create some sort of safety for the child, but over time they become harming to the person. When the child thinks that she or he is the problem, that allows them to take back the control. That allows them to have some why explanation that is reasonable for them and that puts them in charge of being able to change the situation. So their subconscious minds are developing some limiting beliefs that in the moment are protecting them. Like, for example, I am not enough, I'm not worthy of love, there's something wrong with me, I don't deserve this is not available to me. But in time, these beliefs will definitely harm the person that has them. Let me now share a little bit of my personal story. I grew up with parents who fought a lot, constantly and loudly. I remember the fighting, the yelling, the screaming, the sometimes throwing of objects, and that created a lot of fear in my mind. It definitely made me very lonely. When I went to my friend's house, I experienced none of that. It was always peace and smiles and laughter and love and kindness. So I needed to understand why. Why were my parents different from my friends' parents? Why did my parents fight all the time and why my friends' parents didn't fight at all? Why was the environment in my house always so scary and toxic, and why was it so peaceful at my friend's house? Well, my subconscious mind made me believe that it was my fault that this happened and that I wasn't worthy of having a loving family, that I wasn't worthy of having a stable environment. In that moment, obviously, I couldn't understand that my parents' own experience was similar to mine, that maybe they also grew up in unstable environments, that maybe they also only saw their parents fighting. So all that my mind could do to protect me was to make me believe that I was a problem, that I was undeserving of love and stability and peace. Over time, of course, this created a very strong limiting belief that I wasn't worthy of love, and with time I worked it out and I understood. But while I was growing up, it was very painful and it was very damaging for my personal relationships with friends, with boyfriends, and with authority, because I thought that I wasn't worthy of love and attention. So as we grow up, the beliefs that we develop as children in order to feel safe and to feel protected can turn into limiting beliefs that harm us and cause us damage in every aspect of our lives. I don't want you to feel bad about me, because I was able to release those beliefs and to rewire my mind with more empowering beliefs like, I know I am enough, I know I'm worthy of everything that I want, especially love and attention and security and safety. And so I want to tell you that if you have a similar experience, or you can identify one of these limiting beliefs like I'm not enough or I don't deserve love, if you had an unstable childhood where you know that certain limiting beliefs were created, then you need to know that there's a path to freedom. I walked it myself, I continue to walk it every day, and during this series I'm going to show you how we can release these old limiting beliefs that no longer serves us and instead rewire our minds with positive beliefs. Always remember that freedom is in your mind, and whatever you decide to think, you can accomplish that. So nobody can tell you otherwise. So to recap, today we talked about the 3 basic needs of children: to feel loved, significant, and to be safe. And we talked about how when these needs go unmet, the children usually blame themselves, creating limiting beliefs in their mind that will create some harm along their lives. But we will talk about how to release those limiting beliefs and change them for better, empowering beliefs. In our next episode, we'll delve into the heart of limiting beliefs. What are they? How are they formed? What's their power? And how we can rewire them. So join me if you want to learn more and how to control your mind instead of your mind controlling you. Control your thoughts. Decide about that which you will think and concentrate upon. You are in charge of your life to the degree you take charge of your thoughts. Earl Nightingale.